She was called the most beautiful woman in the world. But behind that iconic smile was a war zone. Sophia Loren didn't just rise to fame. She clawed her way out of bomb shelters, starvation, and scandal. And the rare photos you're about to see, they don't just capture a movie star. They reveal the story of a girl who nearly didn't survive childhood, a woman trapped in secret affairs and deadly accidents, and a legend who once spent nights in jail, all while the cameras kept rolling. These aren't just old snapshots, they're proof that glamour and pain often go hand in hand. And some of them, you've never seen them before. Let's start at the very beginning, long before Hollywood knew her name. Before the red carpets and flashing lights, Sophia Loren was just a starving child hiding from bombs in the dark. Born in 1934 in the outskirts of Naples, Italy, Sophia's earliest memories weren't of movie sets, they were of air raids. Her father abandoned the family before she was even born, leaving her mother to raise two daughters alone in a crumbling apartment shared with grandparents, uncles, and too many mouths to feed. Food was so scarce that neighbors called her toothpick. She was painfully thin, weak, and so shy she barely spoke. But it got worse. During World War II, Sophia was struck in the face by flying shrapnel when Allied forces bombed a nearby munitions plant. She was just a child. The scar stayed with her forever, barely visible under makeup, but burned into her story. Nights were spent curled up in cold train tunnels, hoping the next explosion wouldn't be her last. There are rare, grainy photos from this time. A young girl with haunting eyes, standing in the rubble of a broken city. No one looking at her then would have guessed she'd one day conquer Hollywood. But somehow, she made it out. And what came next was the beginning of something no one, not even Sophia, could have imagined. Sophia Loren's rise didn't start with a movie deal, it started with a beauty contest. At just 15 years old, still frail from childhood malnourishment, she entered the Miss Italia pageant. She didn't win, but she didn't need to. One of the judges saw something in her, not just beauty, but presence, a spark. That moment opened doors she never thought existed. She was urged to take acting lessons, change her name, and step into a world that had never made space for a girl like her. By 1956, she had signed a 5-picture deal with Paramount, unheard of for a European actress at the time. And with that, Sophia became an international sensation. The rare photos from this era show a transformation in motion, a girl caught between two worlds. In one frame, she's still the shy teenager with uncertain eyes. In the next, she's oozing confidence in custom gowns, commanding attention with nothing more than a glance. But behind the gowns and cameras, her success wasn't just built on talent. It came with strange luck, last-minute casting changes, and silent sacrifices. Her career was skyrocketing, but Hollywood was about to ask her to take a risk that could have ended it all. Sophia Loren's big break came from a role she was never supposed to have, and one that would never be allowed today. In 1953, producers were scrambling after actress Gina Lollobrigida refused to lip-sync an opera aria in a film. At the last minute, they turned to Sophia. She was cast in Aida, an adaptation of the famous opera, and to play the title role, she had to be painted in dark makeup. The decision was controversial, even then, and today, it's nearly unmentionable. But at the time, it launched her career into the stratosphere. Sophia didn't write the script or choose the role. She was young, hungry, and following orders from the men in charge. And yet, her performance was undeniable. She was magnetic. Critics praised her intensity, her presence, her sheer star power. Rare behind-the-scenes photos from that set show her completely transformed, not just in costume, but in confidence. For better or worse, Ida made Sophia Loren impossible to ignore, and from that point on, her image was everywhere. But what those polished photos didn't show were the personal battles she was still fighting behind the scenes. As her star rose, Sophia Loren found herself entangled in a love story as complicated as any script she'd ever acted in. She fell for Carlo Ponti, her mentor, her producer, and a married man. Italy didn't allow divorce at the time, so their relationship began in whispers and legal loopholes. In 1957, they married in secret in Mexico, but the scandal back home forced them to annul it. Still, they stayed together, navigating a web of public scrutiny and private heartbreak. But love didn't shield her from suffering. Sophia desperately wanted to be a mother, but her body didn't cooperate. She suffered 2 devastating miscarriages that shattered her emotionally. Doctors told her to stay in bed for months if she ever hoped to carry a child to term, and she did. Twice, her pregnancies were silent battles, fought away from cameras. The rare photos of her during this time show a different kind of beauty, fragile, quiet, determined. And then there was Cary Grant, Hollywood's leading man. Married, infatuated with her. He wrote her love letters, proposed to her, even begged her to leave Ponte. Some of the photos of them together still circulate today, sparking rumors that never fully died. But Sophia never left Carlo. Why? No one really knows. Maybe she felt safe with the man who helped build her career. Or maybe the truth was too messy to explain. Still, the public never stopped watching, and neither did fate. Because her most terrifying moment was just around the corner. By the late 1950s, Sophia Loren was a global icon, but even fame couldn't protect her from danger. While filming Legend of the Lost in the Libyan desert with John Wayne, she nearly died in the middle of the night. The hotel she was staying in used outdated gas stoves for heating, and one night, the room filled with deadly fumes. Sophia woke up dizzy, disoriented, and on the verge of passing out. She couldn't even stand, so she crawled on her hands and knees to the door, barely managing to open it before collapsing. Actor Rossano Brazzi happened to be nearby and pulled her to safety. If he hadn't been there, the world might have lost her that night. It was never front-page news, but crew members took a few behind-the-scenes photos that day. Images that look normal at first glance, until you know what almost happened just hours earlier. This wasn't the only time Sophia brushed up against death. Years later, a different kind of threat would come knocking, and this time, it wasn't an accident. It was personal and violent. In 1974, Sophia Loren found herself at the center of a terrifying heist. While staying at the luxurious Hampshire house near Central Park, 2 armed men stormed into her suite. They handcuffed hotel staff, struck her secretary in the head, and threatened Loren directly, all to steal her jewelry. They made off with over $700,000 worth, leaving her shaken, terrified, and traumatized. The police never recovered most of the stolen pieces, and the event haunted her for years. Photos from that era show Sophia smiling on red carpets just days later. But those close to her say she was visibly different, quieter, and constantly looking over her shoulder. Then came the scandal no one expected. In 1982, Sophia was charged with income tax evasion in Italy. According to the court, she had underreported her earnings, a technical error that landed her a 30-day prison sentence. She served 17 of those days behind bars in a women's facility. The public was stunned. How could the most glamorous woman in Europe end up in jail? She later said she was treated with dignity, but the humiliation stuck. Mugshots never surfaced publicly, but courtroom sketches and press photos from that month are among the rarest images tied to her name, proof that even icons aren't immune to the law. But even in disgrace, Sophia didn't fade. If anything, her resilience made her even more beloved. And as time went on, it became clear, nothing could stop her. For all the chaos, heartbreak, and danger Sophia Loren faced, she never crumbled. Instead, she became something even rarer than a movie star, a living legend. From the 1960s to the late 70s, she dominated international cinema, collecting awards like they were souvenirs. She won 4 Golden Globes, an Academy Award, and was even honored with a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. But some of the most powerful images from this period weren't taken on movie sets, they were snapped in quiet moments. Backstage at award shows, comforting her children in rare family portraits, or laughing with other stars between takes. There's a photo of Sophia, barefoot and makeup-free, reading scripts in her dressing room. Another, more private, shows her tearing up while holding her Oscar for 2 Women, the first time a foreign language performance had ever won Best Actress. These aren't the images plastered on fan posters or tabloids. These are fragments of the real woman, wise, weathered, and entirely unshaken by the world around her. Even now, well into her 80s, Sophia Loren continues to appear on screen, not out of necessity, but because she still has stories to tell. And every rare photo we uncover today isn't just a glimpse of the past, it's a reminder of everything she endured to earn her place in history. Sophia Loren's life was never just about beauty, it was about survival. Behind every rare photo lies a moment most people would have crumbled under, a war-torn childhood, secret miscarriages, near-death escapes, and nights spent in a prison cell. And yet, she endured, not with bitterness, but with grace, with fire, with purpose. These photos we've uncovered aren't just rare because they're hard to find. They're rare because they show something we almost never see in the public eye. A woman famous for her image, stripped of illusion. And maybe that's what made her unforgettable. Not the gowns, not the films, but the quiet strength behind it all. So now the question is, how much of Sophia Loren's real story have we truly seen? Or are these rare images just the beginning?